Hi Capricorn, welcome to your monthly reading for December 2023. These messages are for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, likes, shares, comments on them, subscribes to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. If you'd like to book a personal reading, see the description box for information on how to do that. So these are the books I'm going to be using, or the deck should I say, for from the oracle decks that I'm going to be using for today's reading. And I just want to say, as like an opening message, like a collective opening message for everyone, no matter what sign you are. I've actually had quite a niggling feeling or a hunch or whatever you want to call it for a couple of weeks now. So from Scorpio season, we're now in Sagittarius season. As I say, I've had this feeling that people might be speaking their mind more, saying things that cause a shake-up or controversy. They might be saying controversial things, and I know that happens in the media all of the time. So I'm talking about more in our day-to-day lives, just as average people. We're not average people, but yeah, just in our day-to-day lives. I've had this niggling hunch that going forward into like December, this would happen. And I'm aware we're in Sagittarius season. I have checked my astrology books as well, just to confirm. I had a feeling that it may be something to do with the Sagittarius energy, which Sagittarian energy is connected, because we're in Sag season now, it's connected with they are very frank, open, or can be frank and open, speak their mind. It's a what you see is what you get energy. Sometimes it can be brutally honest, even though I think for the most part with Sagittarius it's not intended to be malicious. But yeah, I've just had this thought that people are going to just say things that just, yeah, shakes it all up, stirs the pot, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But anyway, let's get on with your reading. So we're going to start off with a message from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. And that will be like your main theme or the main thing that you need to know for the month of December. So for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising, what is this main theme or the main thing that they need to know for December 2023? So Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising, you've got quite a few. So you've got flexibility, you have enlightenment, and you have stillness. So first thing I want to say is, if you're trying to figure something out, or you want to do something, or you're figuring out how to do something, I'm thinking Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is in my head at the minute, because it can be like a card of, I know you're probably thinking, oh, well, why are you not thinking of the Hanged Man or something? But the Four of Swords is coming to mind. So that deep thought, deep contemplation, accepting that the way you might want to do things might not be the, well, won't be the only way for a start, but might not be the best way, and need to be kind of adaptable. But sort of, you're only trying to problem solve, and it's like when you try to force the answer, it doesn't come. And it's like when you're relaxing or having fun or doing something completely unrelated to the problem you're trying to solve, the answer comes. And I guess that's part of the flexibility, isn't it, of not trying to force the answer. But then also sometimes you can have a light bulb moment and it's something completely out of the box in terms of how to resolve an issue, and that's where the flexibility would come in as well. But yeah, I think enlightenment does come in when you're still. Not necessarily still as in standing there doing nothing. I mean, it can be that, but it can be in terms of stilling the mind in relation to that particular issue, and kind of letting it rest, so that you can kind of give your brain a chance to figure the problem out naturally. So let's get your tarot cards out. So again, like the main thing you need to know, or main theme first of all, for the month of December. You have the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Yep, the Ace of Pentacles. Let's get your energy specifically, how you're dealing with things. You've got the Death card. And any external or surrounding energies. You have got the Six of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles. Any past energies? I was not going to take that, but because of how dramatic it was, I think I will. Oh no, that's too many. I'm going to try that again. 3 cards, that's quite a lot. So past energy, please. There we go. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, going by what I just said, in terms of flexibility in the past, because this is past energy, you may not have been flexible. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is brilliant. They can be very methodical, persevere, persistent, dedicated, but there is the possibility that they may not be flexible. It's like if they have a rule book, they're following that rule book to the T. They're not going to deviate from that at all, for the most part. If you're going into the, do I call it shadow side? I don't know. But yeah, they would probably follow the rule book more than others. You know, like the Knight of Wands, for example, would just play it by ear and do whatever. They would be 100% flexible. The Knight of Pentacles is probably the least flexible out of all the knights in carrying out a mission or whatever it is they're trying to do. So let's look at your current or present energy. I mean, the one thing that's standing out as well in terms of the Seven of Wands and Ace of Pentacles is if there is or like a potential opportunity coming towards you, is there any resistance or like a protective energy towards it because of if it doesn't look or feel or seem the way you think it should? That way, again, that flexibility, you might be like, oh, I don't know about this, I don't trust this, I think I need to block it out, or I need to protect myself against it or resist it or something. But let's look at your current energy. So current energy is the Four of Cups and the Nine of Wands. I'm getting regret from those two straight off with the Four of Cups and the Nine of Wands. And I know the Nine of Wands can often be about, it's a card where you're sort of still standing. But I mean, if you've been in situations where you've regretted things, yeah, there could be an energy of still standing, like, oh, although I regret that happening, I'm kind of still here. I'm trying to trudge on and get on with it. But yeah, regret is the first thing, as the current energy that came to mind. Is there anything here about fearing missing opportunities? You know, that whole FOMO business and stuff like that. Fear of missing out. Anyway, let's look at your future energy. Potential future energy for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. So you've got the Ace of Wands, which is good, and you have the Three of Cups, which is even better. So we've got the Ace of Wands. I mean, that feels like, with the Ace of Wands and Three of Cups, that feels like opening up. That feels like, say this is a process. Well, it is a process. Say it's a process here. It's like you've got the Four of Cups, the Nine of Wands, which I said felt like regret. Then in the future, you've got the Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, where it looks like you're now open and ready to do something. You're letting people in, you're celebrating, whatever. It's like in between that happening, this and that happening, the flexibility came in somewhere. Probably the enlightenment and stillness were there as well, but it's like a bridge. It's not kind of showing the bridge between how you got from here to here. But let's, I mean, future's potential, isn't it? I always say it's not set in stone. So I guess if you're not already on that path, then the cards will show us how you get to that. So let's look at your guidance as well. Too many. I'm going to try that again. That was a lot. I mean, it looks like something's changing here, because your energy specifically is the Death card. So as a representation of you, that's some kind of transformation, isn't it? If the Tower comes up, then you could be going through a spiritual awakening. I know I keep saying that. Right, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, this is the flexibility. That is the flexibility to me. Because the Seven of Pentacles, it's kind of, it's assessment, isn't it? It's looking what you've built so far, or it's wondering if something is worth it, worth the time, effort and energy. But then with that Eight of Swords being in reverse, upright, that's where your thoughts tend to hold you back. In reverse, that's where you're not letting anything restrict you. So in whatever you're doing, this almost feels like that bridge where whatever regrets you've had, you've assessed the situation and figured out what it is that held you back and where you need to be more open and to kind of liberate yourself in a way. And then that's how you've gotten to this Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, open, very open energy, like open to support, because I think that's come up for you before. But yeah, forget before, now. It's being open to doing something new, to having a new chapter, new start, could be new people. So, right. Let's get into your clarifiers. So yeah, this looks like the bridge here. The advice looks like the bridge between the present and the future energy. So let's look at the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles for you first of all, and see specifically what that is. Because as I say, it could be being a bit defensive and protective. If you're concerned, if something is too good to be true, it could be protecting an opportunity as well. Or because we have this thing about support, it could be where you're trying to achieve something or pursue a goal, but you won't let anybody else in because the fear that they'll sabotage it somehow potentially, or you just don't trust people. Could be something like that. Right, so Seven of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Why is that there? So we've got the Knight of Wands first of all. Anything else for that? So I can see the fear. I can definitely see fears already with the Nine of Swords and the Devil there. You've got the desire with the Knight of Wands. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being so picky about the way the cards look, but it bugs me when they're bent. So yeah, I don't think I can make that perfect. That might be something that you have to face as well, actually thinking about it, because I think I mentioned in the beginning, if something doesn't look or feel or seem how you think it should, like perfect, then it makes you feel doubtful about whether or not you can trust it or if it's worth it. So that's something that comes to mind. So you've got the Five of Wands, but it's in reverse. Okay, I might have to look at that on its own. Let's get one more. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Wow, that's a really odd. So you've got quite a bit of fear here with the Nine of Swords, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles. That to me looks like fear. I'm almost thinking that Five of Wands, right, is where you kind of cut people out, which it's not necessarily a bad thing if they're people that are holding you back. But, you know, sometimes you do need support to get things done. So you can get to the point where it goes beyond discernment and it's just like a culling in a way, where you just call everybody because you're like, yep, I don't know who I can trust, so I'm not trusting anybody at all. But let's look at that Five of Wands and see if it tells us why that's there, specifically in reverse, because upright it would be like challenge, conflicts, arguments. You've got the Ten of Wands there. It looks like it's been a battle to kind of honour yourself, actually. I mean, you've got the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a struggle. The Nine of Wands is a battle. Like, I always look at this and think, Jesus, what are these ones that have been, the ones on the floor, are they the ones that have been thrown at her and she's had to fight them off? Or has she used that many ones to battle against people? And they're on the ground because they've been worn out. I mean, there's 7 wands on the ground, aren't there? The Two of Wands is where you have the choice to choose your path, and the Seven of Wands is that defensive or protectiveness, isn't it? The Chariot, that's the choice, isn't it? So, oh, there's another one here, Justice. This does feel like where you may have had to cut people out, or it may not be everybody, it might just be specific people in order to honour yourself. You may have found that those particular people created a burden. Maybe you were doing too much for them, or however it was, they just felt like there was pressure around them and a battle, constantly having to fight or stand up for yourself. Confusion possibly with the Chariot, not knowing which way to go. And it's like by cutting them out and honouring yourself, it creates more of a sense of justice and fairness for you, that you can finally kind of get your power back. So let's see, Knight of Wands. I mean, as I say, that's a desire and a willingness to kind of go off on your own path. Let's get something for the devil, because that would be what holds you back, wouldn't it? Maybe for the Five of Pentacles as well. So the devil, wow. You've got the Empress. The Five of Cups, okay. There might be something about someone being overbearing here. I mean, I know the Empress is usually a very positive energy, but with that Devil card, the word overbearing comes to mind. You know, like if you have parents who are kind of overbearing, they're always, I mean, the Empress is a mother as well, isn't she? So it could be someone's mother. Like they're always in your business. Like they may or may not have good intentions. You could have somebody who's just very overly protective, or it could be to the extreme of having a parent who's controlling. But either way, whether their intentions are good or not, it's like someone who's overbearing, and it somehow, like say if you always turn to them for advice and the advice is always kind of fear-based, you know what I mean? Like where they will never encourage you to take a risk unless it's a highly calculated risk or there's some benefit to them or something. But it holds you back. It can hold you back if you always go to that person and then you end up disappointed because you haven't kind of made your own decisions. It's like, this for me keeps on coming up as not knowing what to do. Like, and if you have someone overbearing, it would be, do I do what they want me to do? Do I do what I want to do? And it's not to say that you have zero control whatsoever, but if you have someone in your life that you respect highly or value highly, and you're stuck in making a decision on something and making a choice and you go to them for advice, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That makes sense. But it's just that if you have doubts yourself and then you take their advice, it can end up leaving you disappointed, can't it? And at Capricorn, you've got strong, I believe, Capricorn energy is one of strong moral values, tradition. So I think that is an energy that would honour, like, say, parents or parental figures or authority figures. You'd honour that. And if you ask them for advice, not to say you can't think for yourself ever, but in a particular situation, you might ask for their advice and think, oh, well, they're more experienced than me. They have the knowledge, they have the... They've done it before or whatever it is. I think it's worth taking their advice, which is not wrong, but it can lead to disappointment. But as I say, it looks here like you're ready to go off on your own, and kind of cut out the interference. Right, Five of Pentacles. Let's have a look at that. So it could be more along the lines of being protective towards your new path, a new opportunity. It might be more protectiveness than defensiveness here. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles, and it may be cutting out the interference so that you can make a decision. You are able to be enlightened without the interference. So Five of Pentacles and then Knight of Swords. Let's try that again. You may have kind of left someone out in the cold actually to pursue an opportunity, as in, and it doesn't mean that you've completely cut off contact with them or something, but whatever you may have said to them, and I did talk about at the beginning that Sagittarius energy of people speaking their minds and causing a shake-up. Like say if it was a parent or something, you may have had to have a discussion with them where you've said, look, you can't do this anymore. You can't keep interfering and trying to tell me what to do. And obviously you're not being malicious with that. It's just sort of, I know it's going to sound harsh saying this, but kind of putting them in their place. Because if you're an adult, yes, we can love our parents, we can honour our parents, but our parents are not our boss. They don't rule our lives, do they? So you have a right to go off and do whatever you got to do and not have them trying to interfere in your business. But yeah, with that Knight of Swords, I mean, they can be known for harsh truths, can't they? So you may have said something, and because you've been honest and honoured yourself, it may have left that person feeling like they're out in the cold, or you kind of, in that process, kind of may have put yourself out in the cold, or they may have rejected you because of what you said. If you've been honest towards them. Let's get one more for that Five of Pentacles. It's like a bit of a clash, isn't it? It's not necessarily that you'll never speak to them again, but yeah, you could have had an argument with them or something, whoever the person is. But I mean, Seven of Swords, that's a risk, isn't it? And then Six of Swords, it's kind of going off to find your own sense of peace. So, right, okay. I'm going to take this at present, unless the cards tell me otherwise, that you are, whatever it is you're doing, pursuing, the path you're choosing, the opportunity you're pursuing at this point in time, You've had to cut people out to protect your energy and your choices. You're ready to kind of go off on your own and do what you got to do. And it's like, you can't have this interference from people. You got to think for yourself and not have any influence or interference or other obligations around you that are kind of blocking your path. So just bear with me. I've got to put a bunch of cards back in the deck. So yeah, for now, it looks like a protective energy. It looks like you stand up for yourself and standing up for what you want, even if it means that you have to put yourself out in the cold from certain people, whether it's temporary or not. So death, it's a transformation, isn't it? If you've always kind of been a very honourable kind of person and felt like you were doing the right thing and taken other people's advice, this transformation, that's where you're kind of like, nah, F that, I'm doing it my way kind of thing. And as I say, it might not be in every single thing you do in life, but in certain situations that you may be like, when it comes to this particular thing, I always need advice for this. So Death card, why is that there as the specific Capricornian energy? We've got the Two of Cups there. I mean, one thing I can say with that Two of Cups being there, if you have had to cut people out from making certain decisions and from interfering in certain things in your life, this is where you are transforming now, where you're kind of prioritizing. I would say you're kind of prioritizing your needs and yourself so that you can have, you would want understanding and you would want things to be equal. So you're kind of choosing what's in alignment with your energy, what matches who you are. You're choosing to be around people who understand how you feel rather than people who are trying to interfere, cause burdens, make you feel overwhelmed, be overbearing towards you. You want people that understand you now, whether it is romantic, friends, whatever, that kind of thing. And it suggests here, because the Two of Cups is sharing, isn't it? So you may be, it's kind of being more emotionally honest and exposed. I don't know why the word emotional exposure is coming to mind, but that's coming to mind as well. Being more open so that you can get what you want as well. So it's a more of a fair exchange rather than this battle. So anything else? Oh, you got the Death card. I feel like the Death card was second actually, wasn't it? The Death card was there. Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's transforming from out of that to that. The Sun. I mean, potential, it's happiness, that's enlightenment and illumination as well. You may have more of an understanding or be gaining a better understanding of what it is you need, especially in connections with other people as well. You got the Five of Cups at the end there. So why is the Five of Cups there, please? Why didn't I say it? If I keep doing this, because it would have looked really cool. I was going to say imbalanced connections. And I keep saying with this Five of Cups, that Three Cups down there looks like the Three Cups from the Three of Cups that have spilt out, where you didn't get the support you need, but then you still have opportunities behind you to connect with other people who will understand you. And you've got the Two of Cups and you've got the Three of Cups. So yeah, imbalanced connections. You've kind of transforming out of that possibly. And that, as I say, the imbalanced connections can have an impact on the opportunities you pursue, seeds you plant, the path you choose, because they're a part of your path too, aren't they? Our relationships and our connections are a part of our path. So they are naturally, to a certain degree, going to have an impact on things we do, things we say as well. So still getting something for the Five of Cups, right? And you know what I find fascinating about this Tower card? She just looks so mischievous. She's like, yep, I did that. And what? And it's like, I know it's not a joke, but that's that kind of energy where, again, as I said, you may have had to speak some home truths to people, but you in the process of doing that, and it's like you're not afraid to tear it all down because you know it's not serving you anymore. So anything else for that Five of Cups? Seven of Swords. And the Two of Swords. It's a risk, isn't it? Doing something like that is a risk, because as I said, it can create rejection. It can hurt people's feelings, possibly not necessarily with malicious intent, but it's a risk. Once you speak up and you you address these kinds of situations. It's not easy. Put it that way. It's not just easy. It's not just you say what you have to say and it's easy. It's, yeah. I mean, we've got the Two of Swords there. That's the two truths. So that tower, as I say, that's a big change, and it looks like you're the one that's created the tower. Any relationships that were just on a shallow, well, I don't know if now shallow if there is the right word, but imbalanced connections where the foundation was never solid to begin with. There were any lies, deceit, and I don't necessarily mean excessively dramatic stuff, but just in general where you don't honestly say how you feel. It's a risk now to kind of express that. You may have for a long time had two truths where on the one hand you feel a certain way and are not happy about people interfering, but on the other hand you feel like you need to honor them and fulfill obligations to them. So you've kind of got two truths there. But it looks like you're transforming out of that. And as I say, it looks like you're kind of putting your needs first, especially in connections with people. You want more understanding. You want a better sense of understanding. So let's take these away and put that on top. So let's look at the external energies. You've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So one way of looking at this external energy is that it is like an energy around you rather than a specific person, but we'll find out when it is clarified. And it might be an energy where you kind of liberate yourself from the past or the way things were done before, previous obligations, that sort of thing. And I mean, that helps with flexibility, doesn't it? If you're releasing yourself from certain obligations that you know are not beneficial and that you don't have to do, then it is giving you more flexibility. But Six of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Let's see what comes out for that. You have the Six of Wands, the King of Wands, Four of Wands. Why are there so many wands here? Seven of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Okay, I'm going to get something for the Three of Swords and see why that's there. Let's try that again. It feels like with the Six of Wands being there and the Three of Swords being there, sorry, kind of like assessing who genuinely values you, who respects you, who sees you for who you are with that Six of Wands, and who doesn't. Who doesn't have your best interests at heart with the Three of Swords. So yeah, Three of Swords, let's have a look at that. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles can be someone who's admired as well, can't they? So again, that would be who are the people in your life who genuinely respect you. And also with the Six of Cups, the thing that's coming to mind is, you know, when we, like, say you have childhood friendships or friends, and you hang on and hold on to those friendships forever because it's people from the past, and you're like, oh, well, I've known them for years. But then you can get into a point in life where you don't relate to them anymore. And as I've said before, it's not that there's anything wrong with those people. It's just that you've outgrown each other, and you've outgrown your connection. And it's not to say that you never ever speak with them again, but the way you interacted with them before, it has to change. Or when you feel like because you've known someone for a very long time, then you automatically owe them your trust. And it's like, not necessarily. So it's like kind of separating from the past, liberating yourself from the past, or the past ways of doing things, or past, just something about the past there. So let's get another one for that Three of Swords. I mean, the Temperance card, it could be about making peace with the past as well, being with the Three of Swords, because the sword, with the Three of Swords, it's pain that's already happened, isn't it? So making peace with past hurts. You've got the Hermit there. Anything else? I'm going to take the upright because the way it went reverse was it swung. So, and then you've got Justice. I mean, that's where it's kind of like harmony is restored. You've got two cards that kind of represent harmony. Temperance, the Justice card. Even the Hermit in a way is connected, you could consider it connected to harmony, because it's kind of where you go off on your own path and you're free to sort of figure life out for yourself without any interference from anyone. So it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of releasing yourself from whatever hurt you, people that don't have your best interests at heart. Here, with the Six of Wands, as I say, you might have been considering who genuinely respects you, admires you, etc. You've got the King of Wands now, who is someone who's just ready to go off and do whatever they've got to do and get it done, and put themselves first as well. Four of Wands, that can be in terms of the foundations you have and the foundations you're creating. And then the Seven of Pentacles, that's the assessment, isn't it? So that would be the assessment of who's there, who's really there for you, who are your genuine supporters, who are the people that genuinely respect you. That can be contemplating the foundation of your friendships as well. Like who genuinely respects you as this King of Wands energy, because the King of Wands is like a boss energy. They're a go-getter, they do what they got to do, nobody can tell them what to do for a start. Who genuinely respects you as that? Or who are the people that are around you that kind of are resistant to that side of you, or they criticize that side of you? Okay, let's move on from that then. So let's get into the past energy. I think your reading may be quite long, Capricorn. But let's see. I mean, the enlightenment for you, part of it might be about who's genuinely supportive of you and there for you. That might be part of it, if it isn't directly about an opportunity. I mean, there is an opportunity here, but it seems like these relationships around you, the people around you, there's a role they play in your pursuit of it or how you deal with it. So Knight of Pentacles, I mean, I've mentioned perseverance, diligence, but another thing is they're very dutiful, aren't they, that Knight of Pentacles? So they would fulfill all obligations to people, even if it was going to kill them, they'd fill the obligation. So Knight of Pentacles, well, probably not kill them, that's a bit dramatic, because they are practical. So if they saw imminent death, then they're not going to go towards that. But they're committed, they're very, very committed, aren't they? And he's there again. Right, so this Eight of Wands in particular, I've said it before, Eight of Wands is usually just the wands moving. This one, she is absolutely overwhelmed. She's got the wands all over the place. Her face is red. The cat's holding on for dear life. She's got a tornado. That's overwhelmed. You may have very well been overwhelmed by obligation, duty, that sort of thing, because you've got the Knight of Pentacles there again. And that's why you might be transforming. You might be like, nah, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this rigid form of existence with certain rules and just the same old, same old. And again, flexibility there. It might be like by letting this go or loosening the reins on it, it's like you can be more flexible in how you approach everything. So you've got the Two of Swords there. That's the two truths again. So those are two truths, aren't they? That's where you're overwhelmed, but that you're still being dutiful. Anything else? That's kind of the enlightenment, isn't it? That's that kind of like that moment where you're like, shit, this isn't working. Let's get one more after that. Yep, that's an epiphany. For me, personally, Ace of Swords, the Tower, together, it's an epiphany. That's the moment, that light bulb moment where it's like, nah, this isn't working. This really isn't working and it has to change. So yeah, as I say, if you've been very dutiful, not just towards people, but just your life in general as well, like in the things that you do, you know, like if you're someone who always, well, not so much about always doing the right thing, but like say even if it was in your job where you just know 100% that that job is not what you want, but you're such an upstanding, and I'm not saying it with criticism in any way, shape or form, or sarcasm, I literally mean it, you're a very upstanding, committed, reliable person that it's like, even though I absolutely hate this job to death, I will get up every morning, go to it, do it, and I'm not even going to complain about it. That kind of energy, that could be you, possibly. That's the exaggerated end of things as well. But yeah, this looks like the epiphany where it's like, no, I can't do this. I can't carry on like this anymore. It's ridiculous. And it's interesting how, so you've got the two truths in the middle, or the indication of two truths. That side of the truths is the being overwhelmed by duty. This is where you recognize that that's what it is. It's being overwhelmed. It's not right. It's interfering with whatever it is in your life that you're trying to get on with. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I don't feel the need to clarify anything else with that. So current energy, 4 of Cups, 9 of Wands, and I said it felt like regret. And it makes sense based on what we've looked at so far, because as I say, that's where you're kind of recognizing that you're just not, it's not satisfying, you're not happy with it. And then you've got this 9 of Wands energy of still standing, which that's what, I mean, it's after the 8 of Wands, it's the 9 of Wands, isn't it? It's where you're worn out, it's where you're tired, where you've barely got enough energy. I mean, he's not even standing up, he's that tired. You would feel regret if that's the energy that's there. So this is current energy, but it looks like you recognize it. So I don't know what order they came out in. So the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, and the 2 of what? Right, okay, yeah. Let's get 2 more. I might just get one for that 7 of Swords just to check, but I do pretty much know what it is. Page of Cups, 1 more. I think, and I mean, it does depend on what else comes out, but this is a key, like this is the reading so far, is the, it kind of looks like the epitome of taking your power back, in a way. But let me get one more for this first of all. Right, 5 of Swords, okay. So let's get something for the 7 of Swords. Yeah, let's get one more for that. Okay, and I'll get one for the 5 of Swords. Okay, I'll get one more. I do know what, I think I know what that means, but yeah, okay, 100%, right. I know it's a bit weird me saying, yeah. But anyway, so 7 of Swords. So I said underneath, we're clarifying these regrets. This is where the truth comes to light with that 7 of Swords, where you realize that you're not quite being yourself or doing whatever it is that you want to do because of potential obligations elsewhere. And this is where you decide you want to free yourself. You know that you'll be there's another way for you to be happy, or you want to be happier. The 2 of Wands, you recognize that you have a choice in this. You don't just have to stick with it. You do have a choice. You do have an opportunity, and you deserve to be able to express yourself and be who you are, and do whatever it is that you want to do. The 5 of Swords, again, that's kind of contemplating the intentions of other people, because the 3 of Wands for me is intentions. The 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords is kind of the battling against others. So yeah, the three of Wands, I feel it's more about their intentions, about contemplating what are the intentions of other people who are around me, who are close to me, that I do things for, that do things to me. Like, even if people do things for you, you know, you can get some people that are genuinely generous people that they don't want anything back. Like, they have no expectations. They're just kind, and they're just doing whatever they're doing just because they want to, just because they feel like it. And then you get other people who do things for you, and there's always going to be a comeback where it's like, oh, like even if it's 2 years later, oh, well, I did this for you and I did that for you, so you should do this for me. And you know, that kind of energy. And it's sort of, again, it's contemplating all of that, knowing that you have a choice to stick with these kind of energies, or to kind of free yourself and pursue your happiness. Don't feel, you know, people can sort of imprison you with obligation, can't they? Where because they've done so much for you, they guilt trip. That's it, guilt trip. They guilt trip you into thinking that you then have to, you kind of like their servant forever. So yeah, even if it's parents, they can guilt trip the shit out of you. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard with parents, isn't it? Because we know that they did a lot. They did so well. For anyone who has a good parent, a decent parent, you know that they did a lot for you, but then even they can still push it too far and guilt trip you unnecessarily, when it's like, come on, now you're just taking the piss, and it's not, yeah, it's unfair, should I say, I think is the best way to put it. They're being unfair with the guilt trips. So let's put these back. I have an idea for a title for this, and I don't know if I'm going to do it, but yeah. Right, so I'm going to move on to the future, potential future energy of the Ace of Wands. So that's new. It's like a new chapter. It's a new beginning, new inspiration. And with the Three of Cups, in the beginning, what did I say? I said it was about, this is where you let people in. If it was more the defensive side, it's where you let people in. And it still can be that, but this would be where you let in the people that you know are more supportive. It could even be meeting new people, people who are more inspiring, who if you have some wacky random idea, they support that wacky random idea as long as nobody's going to get hurt. It's more genuine connections, isn't it? Whether it's friendships or whatever. And as I say, it doesn't mean that you completely eliminate or cut out the old people. It's just that the relationships that you have with them would be very different from the way they have been before. Like there would be no more of them interfering in your business or trying to guilt trip you with obligation. It's people that you can celebrate with, who celebrate with you. As I say, respect, support, value, sharing, that sort of thing. And it's all genuine as well from the heart. So Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, please. So, wow, Queen of Wands again, Three of Cups again. It's people that see you for who you are and value you for who you are and just want to, I can't remember whose reading I mentioned it in the last week's readings about why do we spend time with people? To enjoy their company and for us to enjoy their company as well. I mean, yeah, there are other elements to it as well, but for the most part, friendships, relationships shouldn't be all about duty and obligation, should they? We connect with people and spend time with them because we want to enjoy each other. And that's what I'm getting here. And then obviously with that Queen of Wands, she shines her light. It's people that respect you and see you for who you are again. Queen of Swords, I mean, that's where you feel free to speak your truth. And we should be able, in theory, we should be able to speak our truth regardless of who we're around. But it doesn't always work that way, does it? There are different reasons why you speak your truth and you get rejected, or you feel you can't, or whatever. There's a bunch of different reasons. But here, these are people that you could really be yourself with that Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords, and be very honest about things. You've got the Seven of Wands again. Anything else for that? And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm going to get one for the Seven of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles, so you've got three queens here. Who's missing? The Queen of Cups, the emotions. But the emotions are there with that Three of Cups. Again, it's about being seen for, I mean, you'd know your own self-worth and being valued just for who you are, not what you can do. Because Queen of Pentacles is practical, isn't it? So people can try and take advantage of her for what she does for them. But here, it's knowing who values you just for being yourself. You don't have to give them anything. You don't have to do anything for them. They just value you for being you. Right, Seven of Wands. That could be a sense of discernment, to be honest. Let's see what else comes out for that. Okay, it could be a sense of discernment and knowing that you have a choice in the future again. Like when you do meet new people, or the relationships you have with the people you already know, you have a choice. If these people are saying or doing things that kind of piss you off, or that you don't feel right about or good about, or it makes you unhappy or uncomfortable or whatever it is, know that you have, and I absolutely hate referring to people as options, because I just think we're not an accessory, we're not a belt, a pair of shoes, whatever, especially in romantic terms as well. But here, it does look like options, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but you know, like if there are people who are this energy towards you that make you feel like shit or pressured or whatever, know that you have the option, I'll say the option, to go to people who, as I say, respect you, value you for who you are, just for being yourself. So let's get one more for that Seven of Wands. Yeah, you have a choice not to, discernment. You have a choice not to put up with this and have to battle against people all the time. Yep, so the High Priestess there is the discernment. You may have learned, you may have a better sense of discernment now, in terms of knowing that you have the choice. You don't have to stick with the bullshit. So So that's your potential future energy. It looks good, to be honest. It looks like you, because of the regret, I mean, it's not nice to go through this feeling of regret and being worn down and stuff, but I think going through that gets you to here, to this point where you now, things are lighter, a lot lighter for you. So let's look at your guidance. And I said this was the bridge, that Seven of Pentacles, and it was assessing what frees you and what holds you back. And I think it's there, isn't it, with the discernment. So Eight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. Right, so we have Four of Swords, Nine of Cups. So you might have a bit of a, I mean, what did I say? The Four of Swords came to mind when I saw that Stillness and Enlightenment card, didn't I? I believe that's what I said at the beginning, because that's where you have the chance to kind of think for yourself and to think clearly. If you cut out all of the distractions, interference, that's where you get to think for yourself and decide what makes you happy, how you feel. So anything else after that Queen of Cups, please? King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like that King of Pentacles, it represents, kind of represents that Ace of Pentacles in a way. That's the opportunities that you want to build on. Six of Swords, that is your sense of peace. Again, it's support as well, though. So again, removing the energies of people who cause a feeling of overwhelm and interference and that sort of thing, and burden. That kind of frees your mind up to think about where you are, what you're doing, just rest in general, just give yourself a break and to assess without the interference what opportunities you want to pursue and how you want to go about building it, what you want to build, what you want to create. It gives you a sense of peace and it frees you up. And then, as I say, this can be the Empress, it can be abundance, but it can even be the people that support your abundance. I was going to say support because the Empress is very nurturing and generous. She's that person that gives without expecting anything in return. So it can represent those kind of people or just abundance in general for you. So the advice, it's just to learn, I mean, I think you're already doing this anyway, but about assessing what frees you, what restricts you, especially in terms of your connections with other people and relationships with other people, whether they're family, friends, romantic, whatever. And giving yourself the space, having the space to understand and to know how you feel without any interference with anybody else, from anybody else, and then knowing how you want to move forward and recognizing who your genuine supporters are, who are the people that are really there for you without any expectations. So we'll leave that there. And I'll get you some final advice from, first of all, this Sacred Power deck. So Sacred Power. Sacred Power deck for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising, final advice. Nope, doesn't feel right. Sorry, Capricorn, I'm going to try that again. Final card of advice for Capricorn, please. If it'll come out today. It literally doesn't feel like it wants to come out, to be honest. Okay, you've got a few, and I'm not going to be reading all of them because they are quite long. And then I'll get you a final card from the Oracle of the Unicorn. So, okay. Brilliant messages, though. You've got intuition. So I'm not going to read that because intuition, I mean, there is more info there in the book, but it's pretty straightforward. It's following your intuition, isn't it? And sense of discernment. And you've got change. I'll read the change message in a minute. And we'll get you a final message from the Oracle of the Unicorns deck as well. You have So first of all, you have imagination, if you can see that. Envision a new reality, give yourself permission to dream, believe in unlimited possibilities. That feels like that flexibility card. I think, I remember I said at the beginning, I believe it's your reading, where I said about not having one way of doing things, or where you may have felt that if it doesn't look a certain way, then it's not right. So again, that flexibility, I mean, it's about change as well, isn't it? Envision a new reality, it's being open to change, and you've got strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. So as I said, that was where the present energy, going through that energy of regret, or whatever it is, will lead you to just being open and putting yourself first, basically. So let's look at the change message. So it says, new beginnings bring challenges. Adapt, flexibility again, adapt to your surroundings. Like the wind, the universal spiral symbolizes change and growth. The spiral is a sacred symbol that reflects the universal pattern of growth, evolution, the goddess, fertility, and life force energy. Just like the changing seasons, new life is formed after a period of hibernation. I think I mentioned rest in here somewhere, didn't I, with that stillness and alignment. But anyway, plants know when to shed parts of themselves, dropping their leaves, branches, and seeds at the precise moment. Their natural rhythm is synchronized with their environment. Walking down the road of change allows you to see where you have been and where you are going. This perspective can be confronting, but no one needs to recognize past issues and mistakes to make better choices. No, but one needs to recognize past issues and mistakes to make better choices. These learning experiences require you to let go and surrender to your own divine will. Beginnings are often described as painful endings. Accepting your current position in life can offer powerful realizations about your current circumstances. Focus on life changes now. If you insist on making a decision, be patient and seek professional advice to secure solid foundations before the final phase. Right now, there is change in the air. You are moving quickly into the next cycle of your life. This acceleration may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is essential for your progression. Being uncomfortable allows your soul to expand and grow. Surrender and let go of any fear you have surrounding the change required to ensure a smooth transition. Changing your circumstances in career, habits, family, finance, relationships, locations, ideas, and beliefs are all possible now. Be open to all possibilities. Just like an eclipse, severe change can be perceived as a negative influence, but in reality it often leads to a more productive, beneficial outcome. Adapting to your new surroundings may take time. Relieve any anxiety by removing your resistance to universal flow. When the winds of change slow down and the dust begins to settle, reflect on how far you've come. The affirmation says, I move through life with ease, reflecting on each learning experience with love and understanding. I surrender my fear to the universe with freedom. Okay, so I don't have anything to add to that. I do hope there was something helpful here for you, Capricorn. Thank you very much for watching the reading. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to book a personal reading, then see the description box for info on how to do that. So other than that, thank you for watching and take care.